Hello, Michele Corriel, art historian here. Today, we are going to take a look at one of many of Paul Harris's bronze sculptures. This piece is a 16.5 by 22-inch portrait of the Greek figure Agamemnon, finished in 2014. Agamemnon was a complicated man. And if there's one thing that intrigued Paul Harris, it was complicated men. According to his longtime friend, Carlton Bradford, Harris was fascinated with the human experience and with men who were out of touch with their feelings. So it is no wonder that the bigger-than-life, tragic figure of Agamemnon caught Harris's attention. Before we begin to think about the bronze, here's a little background. Agamemnon was the king of Mycenae and brother to Menelaus, the king of Sparta. When Menelaus's wife Helen was abducted by the Trojan prince Paris, the two brothers sought out their Greek allies in order to sail to Troy and bring Helen back, sparking the infamous 10-year Trojan War. But before Agamemnon even got to Troy, he caught the ire of the goddess Artemis, who then stopped the winds from blowing, stranding Agamemnon and Menelaus in the middle of the sea. Artemis demanded a sacrifice, and Agamemnon offered up his daughter to appease the goddess. Agamemnon's wife, Clytemnestra, who happened to be Helen's sister, was tricked into allowing her daughter to go with her husband. And so, love turns to hate. Known as the great warrior, but as a selfish ruler, Agamemnon famously upset his invincible champion Achilles, which prolonged the Trojan War, as well as the suffering of his own men. Fast forward 10 years, the end of the war, Agamemnon arrives home. His wife, Clytemnestra, conspires with her lover to murder Agamemnon. Complicated man indeed. Looking closely at the sculpture, the grandeur of a man bigger than life comes through in the squared off face, cheeks puffed with bluster, and lips like knives cutting across his mouth. But it is the eyes. Though only small spheres of bronze, they express power, hooded with misshapen brows, arching as if to access the armor of Achilles. The rectangle of his profile, perhaps as seen from behind a helmet, exaggerates the negative space, leaving us to imagine the leather cap he wore that was reinforced with leather and framed with wild boar's white teeth. It is the expression of a warrior, but more than that, the guile comes across in the eyes, the mistrust in the tightly cleft chin. But above all, Harris creates tension with that little geometric shadow on the forehead. Using wax to form his figures, Harris followed the foundry process from start to finish, making his own molds and taking his pieces to the foundry, paying special attention to the patinas. When thinking about Agamemnon, Harris's fascination with the figure comes across in the hard, soft contradiction of the materials, starting with moldable wax and ending with hard and fast bronze, which also speaks to the nature of complicated men like Agamemnon. Until next time, thank you for listening.